I'm very proud of the front-end user interface on this. I think it's one of my most brilliant examples of an application.
Dude, wow, you got the column thing.
Can you believe it?
Yes.
This is pretty amazing. So I'm going to put this over here, and then I'm going to be the other person. All of you can go to this website. I will actually make it.
Firefox has like the make Q. No, my phone. They have like a make QR code thing, don't they?
Make QR code
Yeah,
thing?
there's like a share modal.
Yeah, I could do that. The QR
It's
code
built in your
generator.
browser.
Well, not in mine, I don't think. There it is.
Old.
So it's multiplayer?
It is multiplayer, yeah. Well, it's two-player. That's multi, technically.
It's called Brilliance Recording.
Yeah. For a while, I had a pseudonym called Brill Satan, and her GitHub, she was a girl, and her GitHub was brilliancebitcoin.github.com. But I didn't like pretending to be a girl, so
Why?
guys kept on asking me out.
Gee.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm going to create a new coin flip game. I'm going to create a new, offer in the order book to do a coin flip. And check this out. This is a coin, and you can pick whether you want it to be heads, tails, or random.
Okay.
And you got tails a bunch of times in a row. Anyway, so it tells you about how it works up here, but we got to put in. I want to check and make sure there's no errors in the console. There are errors in the console, so this is probably not going to work. Let's just try it and see what happens. Okay, so it wants us to give a Bitcoin address. This is running on testnet 2. Let me just...
Testnet 2.
No, I mean also.
Testnet 3.
No.
What's Testnet 2?
Oh,
Also.
just also, not 2. So I might have to make this not rigorous.
It really is all in the HTML.
Yeah.
It'll be
Tabs too, bro.
Okay, so I can't use. I will have to change the code base for this in order to make it work again. Because testnet, you can't really get any coins on testnet.
What would be the
anymore.
simplest? Can we combine BitVM with the $0 contingent payment? Take that Sudoku example, or that's actually too much.
Okay, I don't know about all that, but I'm
I was
going to
just only saying that if this doesn't work.
find new folder. I'm gonna make a new folder, and I will call it CoinFlip in Las
Use
Vegas.
Git, bro. Use Git.
Do not use Git.
What?
I
How
don't
do
know.
you track changes?
I just don't make changes.
No, but you do. You just made a folder.
Git?
Huh?
You use GitHub?
I use GitHub, yes.
So he doesn't use Git though.
What do you mean you don't use Git?
He doesn't make.
Well,
why do
like you
use
know, you
GitHub
can
without
type git checkout and then do stuff. I don't do that.
He just uses GitHub as a S3, like a storage.
I just use it to store my code.
Okay.
I use the clone feature. I do git clone.
But that's just downloading.
Yeah.
We need branches and
Go about push, dude. The
commits.
Push. Yeah.
But you don't work with people, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't work with people.
You're in a cave.
Oh,
Have
You
you
know.
worked with yourself over time? I mean, you're not able to have Git.
He hasn't got
I
it
don't.
yet.
I don't. Any the
I hate
versions.
my older
The
self.
versions of me from prior to like about a month ago, I can't read their code, and I just don't understand what they're doing.
Jeez.
Is it because it's all in one file?
No.
Well, it's because he's improving so rapidly. He's just like he went from assembly to HTML.
Okay, so here is some stuff.
my God! You're right. It is one file.
Yeah,
1,100 lines of HTML.
I think this is all one file. Let me go check if the GitHub.
Normally, I just use a thing called like ESBuild or a bundler to create that thing that you just showed us. This type of thing.
I also have something called offer.html.
Last
And
year.
Oh no. Wait, what?
I have something called offer.html. I don't know what it is.
So that's 2 files.
I know. This is all last year. I don't understand what I was doing.
One
back then.
commit.
Anyway, anytime that we see blockstream.info, we're going to have to change that to mutinynet.com.
Is that your node?
No, it is a testnet. It's a testnet created by some friends of mine,
Oh, cool.
and it has 30-second blocks, and they have a faucet that actually works, whereas the testnet faucets don't really work anymore.
Who would have thought the faucets would be a huge DevX disaster? Okay.
U2menet.com.
It's crazy.
U2menet.com. U2menet.com. How many others are there?
So you're like a web guy, dude. You like web.
Web 3.
Yeah, use a
No, I'm
command.
putting him in my list of people who care about the web. It's a dying breed.
Okay, and we've also got one called Push BTC Payment, which is trying to push it to these guys, but we're going to have to change that because we're not going to be broadcasting to testnet. We're going to be broadcasting MutinyNet, so I have an alternative. Libraries and functions I often use in Bitcoin projects, and I'm going to search for Push BTC Payment, and this is going to be a replacement for this. Well, I can't quite do it like that. I have to.
Are these just functions that you find yourself calling in multiple projects?
Yes.
You could put them in a library.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, we're gonna copy and paste this into ChatGPT and tell it to turn it into modules.
That should work.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to want just plain old raw TX here. Send raw TX. We'll try that, and we'll see what happens. Okay.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So testnet / any other instances of testnet? No. Okay. All right. So we've got this in here. So we'll open that up, and I will say create new coin flip. And now this should work on MutinyNet. So where do we want to receive our opponent's money? I will go get from MutinyNet
A random address.
a random address. I'll just pick one.
Can we
from the
create
box.
a multi-sig?
You could, sure.
Is that easy?
Can we use
You could use ABAB, but it has to be encoded in
Like a
Bech32
custom-
format. So
Like a barred wallet?
I'm just going to use this guy. This is the address we're going to send the money to if we win.
Okay.
We're going to try. How much are we going to bet? Minimum 1,000, max 10,000. We'll do the minimum of 1,000. And then we can pick whether we want to bet that it's going to be heads or tails. Which one do we want?
Random, dude.
Heads.
He says heads. Okay, we're going to create this and we will see what happens.
Wait.
Okay, so current status, this is a work in progress, it doesn't always work yet. Follow any instructions that appear in the top line. So it says, with this link, you can invite someone to take your coin flip offer. And this is why we need offer.html. So I have to do what I did before again.
You could also just, like have a live
Offer.html.
support multiple users.
So we have to clone and run in the local.
Well, we have to change it because I can't really use the old I can't really use testnet 3 anymore is the problem. So I will save this as offer.html, and then I will change all instances of blockstream.info/testnet to mutinynet.com.
Okay, well, I have a non-joke question.
Sure.
You're reusing your Bitcoin script to do this. Like, how did you create the coin flip Bitcoin script by hand? Okay,
Yeah.
that's the challenge now. Like, I'll clone this and run this with you, but like now I want to do like.
Do you want to see what the opcodes look
No,
like?
I don't want to see that. I want to now write a new program and like not need to use your backtick quoted stack thing. And like, how would I do my own? You have to just know they have to just write it.
Well, that's why I wanted to do it first, and then we can decide if we want to make it.
Okay, yes, okay.
Because I would make this differently now. I know different techniques and stuff now.
Like mini script.
I would not use Miniscript because you know what Miniscript does not let you do? It does not let you use.
Single files.
It does not let you use the logic gates. They took the logic gates out of Miniscript,
Okay. Okay.
and I like the logic gates.
I just don't like being like a stack on a computer.
So I replaced all instances of MutinyNet, and then I need to do a push BTC payment, I have to make the same changes to that. Or even is it? I have to make the same change to that I made to the other one. So this is going to be like that, and it is going to be going to mutinynet.com/tx/push is where it will be pushing it to. Okay, so now I should be able to copy this link and paste it into a new. These can be like next to each other. I'm going to paste it into here, and we should see our opponent right there, and the hash of our opponent's choice of heads or tails. So our
How do I
opponent,
validate? How do I know that that's correct? Like, what I don't trust your file-based web app.
if you don't trust the code,
Well, you said that here's some hash. I'm a human. I don't know what to do with the hash.
you don't have to do anything with it.
Okay.
You just have to type in the Bitcoin address you want to see the funds, and yeah, I guess you have to provide it twice for some reason. So we'll do that. We'll use this Bitcoin address again. Paste, and then this guy has to guess whether the first guy picked heads or tails.
Wait. My opponent has to guess what I chose.
Yeah,
Why?
that's just how.
So this is like guess a number again.
It's like you flip a coin, you put it down, and he has to guess whether you did heads or tails.
Oh, the first thing we were saying what the coin was going to be.
Oh. Because we're doing this remotely, so you can actually look and see what you got
I
first.
see. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Let's
So
just be wrong. Let's type
you want to
tails.
be wrong? All right,
Tails.
we'll pick tails. We'll say.
Or wait, what does accept mean? Is that a new state?
I think that just means continue. It's like
Oh,
go to the next.
Tails.
Like, this
Tails.
is one.
Let's be wrong.
Okay, so accept this.
Whoa,
And it detected
dude.
that. It detected that. Waiting for your opponent to deposit money into their Bitcoin address, or for 3 Bitcoin blocks to pass by for auto abortion. And this guy's thing says waiting for your opponent to deposit money into their deposit address, or for 8 Bitcoin blocks to pass by for auto abortion.
Auto abortion, dude. That sounds dramatic.
And wait for your transactions.
That's what they do in California.
I mean, I get it.
It says they're both waiting for their opponent to broadcast.
Check your network traffic. What was the XML HTTP response from your mutiny thing?
I'm not sure. I was expecting. Oh, right here. It says deposit exactly 2,000 sats into this address.
Okay.
Okay, so that is our instruction that we follow. So I will go to mutinynet.com/default.mutinynet.com. And it was 2,000 sats, right?
Yeah.
So I will deposit that into there. Let me just check. Yeah, it is checking the faucet, or checking whether it's been done. So this should detect that.
It did.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the opponent's deposit was detected, but is not confirmed yet. Awaiting one confirmation, usually about 10 minutes. Of course, a mutiny is usually about 30 seconds. And then once it's done, it'll ask this guy to make a deposit. So it'll be checking. We can actually go to MutinyNet and see when the block comes in. Oh, it already came. Look at that. Okay, deposit exactly 1,000 sats into this address. Okay, so I will do that. Start over.
But browser 1 already deposited. You're depositing 1,000 more
So-
sats.
Yeah, one of them is depositing 1,000 sats. The other is depositing 2,000 sats.
Okay.
And the winner will get 1,000 sats more than they deposited. Or like either the one guy will keep 2,000 sats, in which case he won, or the other guy will get 1,000. He will get 2,000 sats. He will get all 2,000 sats. One of them will get 2,000 sats because they're both betting 1,000. Okay, so it says waiting for your opponent to reveal their guess, heads or tails. And so this guy should be doing that. But I suspect there's probably an error here. No. Yeah, so your opponent's deposit was swept and you revealed your guess. if you won, you can withdraw. So this guy should actually withdraw that money any second now. And then we should see like finished status on there somewhere. Maybe. No, I think something broke in it. Oh, he's waiting for 4 blocks to go by. That's right. There are 2 confirmations, and he is waiting for there to be 4. For some reason. No, but that's for abortion. He doesn't need to abort. He actually won, so he should just sweep the money. Well, okay, so yeah, so how is this working or not working? As it apparently broke. What is supposed to happen is this is using what's it called? Verifiably random number generators, where the seed for the random number is, oh, it did work. Look at that. Finished. Oh, no, it's not good. Finished with an abortion. It doesn't think this guy ever broadcasted his transaction, so he took the money. But he was going to win anyway, so I guess that's fine. Oh, I think that's how I designed it. If this guy loses, he just doesn't do anything, and then this guy wins by default.
Oh, so he just gets it because it times out.
Yeah, he times it. This guy has 4 blocks to sweep the money if he won, but he can't sweep the money, so he just leaves, and then this guy gets the money after 4 blocks. That's why I did it that way. Okay, let's try it again and have this guy win, and then it should be a little different this time. Okay, so I will refresh. I'm surprised this is working at all. Oh, somebody made an offer. Who made an offer?
Yourself.
It was probably just us. Probably us earlier. Anyway, if you come to this website and other people are playing, you can accept their offers.
Wow.
So I did make a little, what you were talking about earlier.
Oh, cool.
A decentralized.
But this is on file. You're hosting it on your laptop.
Not the offers.
Oh, the actual.
This is just the interface. The interface is on my laptop.
It's on chain.
Huh? The offers?
How would someone have accepted this offer?
You can
I
host
posted the offer on a Nostr relay. And so other people can find them on Nostr relays using their own self-hosted client.
Sick.
Isn't that cool?
That's very cool, dude. You didn't even explain that part.
I didn't explain that part, but here we are. I was reminded once I saw that it was there. I was like, oh yeah.
That's cool.
The Nostr relays are still working after all these years. I need this. Anyway, so we'll create a new coin flip. And this time, do you want to pick heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
Okay, we'll do tails this time. Create the offer. And it gives us a link to send to somebody where they can join us. So we will do that over here. And this time we want this guy to win, so he is going to also guess that. We need to put the Bitcoin address in there. So we'll go find the faucet address. Well, we'll just use this address. That's fine. So he will put that in there. He will guess tails and click accept. And so if we scroll up, he once again has to deposit 2,000 sats into this address. So we will do that. 2,000 sats. It was detected. It waits for a confirmation, and then it will ask this guy to make his deposit. So if we go check the blockchain, we can watch for, well, a block did come in. So let's go see. Maybe, it is once again already available for us. That is awesome. Then we will deposit 1,000 sats. And then this guy should take the money this time because we won't need to wait for an abort. Yep. So that happened. Waiting for your opponent to reveal their guess, heads or tails. This guy is going to wait for a confirmation. And on MutinyNet, that should come relatively quickly because the blocks come so fast. There's a block, so he should act now. He's probably checking every 10 seconds or something. Let's see. Maybe that was the previous block. There we go, that's definitely a new block. Okay, so he should act now.
Do you need to claim?
I think everything's automated. It should do everything automatically.
Well,
But it isn't doing it, is it?
no.
I'm gonna have to check and see what it's doing wrong inside the console. Yeah, I don't remember what this code does. It's just a bunch of gobbledygook to me now. How many blocks is it going to wait until it aborts? Well, it's going to wait 4 more blocks until there's an abortion, apparently. Okay. Well, while we wait for it to do something, I'm going to declare how it works. So this is using something called verifiable random number generation, and it did. This one says finish now. And that guy took the money because this guy didn't act quickly enough, and I don't know why he didn't act quickly enough, but apparently something's going wrong. The seeds for the random numbers are provided by both people, so they both contribute a 0 or a 1 to the game, and then the maximum number that it can possibly be is 2, if they both happen to pick a 1. And so then we do op XOR on that number after doing a modulus over 2. So 2 modulo 2 is 0, and 1 modulo 2 is 1. And the other thing that they might guess is both 0. They might contribute both to 0. So there are 2 ways to get 1 in this game, and there are 2 ways to get 0. And consequently, there's always an equal chance that you're going to get a 0 or a 1. So I just have it so that if after you do this modulo thing, this guy gets to withdraw if the result is a 0. This guy gets to withdraw if the result is a 1. Now I did not know it when I made this because this was before BitVM, but this is using all of the things that we use in BitVM. Well, except it's not using Taproot, but it is using state transfer. So they commit to their number by means of a hash, and the preimage to that hash reveals whether it was a 0 or a 1. So I'm using state transfer to import that into the next state of the game. And I'm running a program which is just XOR. It's just a single Boolean logic gate on that input and then giving an output from it. So I didn't know at the time that I was developing on BitVM or developing an implementation of BitVM, but that's what this is. Although clearly it's not perfect because something went wrong mid procedure here. Anyway, that's the coin flip game. Is it something you guys want to try and build? Or you're so upset with it that you don't want to try it?
We have looked the opcode.
Huh?
I want to have looked the opcodes to understand.
You want to look at the opcodes? Okay, cool. Yeah, let's take a look at them. So there is a function called repair coin flip, and that has some opcodes. And then there is one called reveal and redeem, and that one has some opcodes. And I think those are the only places where I use Bitcoin script in here. If I just scroll on through, everything else is just interacting with APIs. Yeah, so let's just review how those things work. Another thing that I did, where did they go? Yeah, one thing that didn't exist when I was making this, I don't think Robin had come up with the modern technique of having 2 different hashes and then you just replace one of them with a 1 or a 0, whichever one you reveal. So I did a different thing. To repair the coin flip, we have 4 inputs to this Bitcoin address. A hash contributed by player 1 and a hash contributed by player 2. There are 2 public keys and a number of blocks to wait in case we need to abort. So, what do we do here? we push whatever we supply on the what's it called, witness stack. We push the first item to the alt stack. So I need to find out what is the first item that we provide, and that would be under. God bless you. Where do I call this function? Grep coin flip. There's the witness script. Grep coin flip. And where is the witness stack? Okay, so it's the two pre-images. So that what we are putting on the alt stack is this pre-image, player 2's pre-image. All right, so that is what that does. It puts player 2's pre-image on the alt stack, and then it duplicates player 1's pre-image, hashes it, and checks if it is equal to this hash. Because player 1 has to supply the pre-image to his hash in order to reveal the number. If they are equal, then we skip this not if statement. Not if only applies if this would end up being a 0. So if they are equal, then we skip that and go down here. If they are not equal, then we do op false, op nip. I forget what nip is. Let me go look up what nip does.
How many opcodes we have? The big one.
Like 150, I think.
Oh, that's a lot.
And all of their functions are in, all of the opcodes are in this document. And if I do op nip, removes the second to top stack item. Second to top stack item. So, given what we know from that, the second to top stack item would be this signature, because this one went on the alt stack. This one went on the alt stack, so it removes this signature? That's strange. Maybe there's something else up there. No, it removes this 0. No, that's better be consumed by this. I think it's removing the signature. So that's strange.
What?
I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. But let's just pretend that I understand what it's doing if this guy had the right thing. Then it skips this part, which I don't understand anymore. So what it does then, because we duplicated the pre-image here. Oh, that's why it's getting rid of the duplicate pre-image. It doesn't need it if he provided the wrong pre-image. We don't need it, so we can get rid of it.
Why do you need to duplicate the pre-image?
So that we can check its size, and that is why this is here. We check the size of the pre-image if player 1 reveals it, and if its size is then we compare its size with the number 16. It's either his pre-image is either going to be equal to 16 bytes long, or it is going to be equal to some other number of bytes. If it is equal to 16 bytes, then
It's good.
well, then we know. Then I think what we're going to do is put a 0 on the stack somewhere.
Oh, equal.
We check if it's equal to 16 bytes, and if it is,
Swap.
swap would put the pre-image. Would swap the pre-image and the signature, I think, and then drop the signature. Why do we want to drop the signature? You can't drop the signature because that's what you're going to use to spend the money. I don't know why we're dropping things from this stack. It's been so long. This is like 2 years old code. I don't remember what it's doing.
Darn.
Then we get the other guy's pre-image, which we put on the alt stack at the beginning, and we check what it is equal. If it is equal to 16 bytes, and this is how we're checking if they pick the same number or not. I said earlier that we're checking if it's 0 or 1. We're actually checking if both of them made a pre-image that is equal to 16 bytes in length or not, because that is at the time how I figured out how you could do this, how you could compare different values for people, or have them contribute different items. Now we would do 0 and 1 with the way we do BitVM, but it wasn't. No one had thought of that yet. So if they guessed the same thing, then we run op num not equal, which is what Bitcoin calls op exclusive OR. We call it num not equal because XOR checks. If you supply a 0 and a 1, XOR will return a 1, It'll only do that if they are both different, and num not equal does that too. It says it will check if a 0 and a 1 or any other two pairs of numbers are the same, and if they are, then it will return a 0. If they are different, then it will return a 1. Thus, it is exactly equivalent to op XOR. So that's what we use in lieu of op XOR. We just use this. So it runs XOR on it, and then if they are different, then if they each supplied, if one of them supplied a 16, one of them supplied some other number of bytes as the length of their preimage, then player 1 wins. Otherwise, player 2 guessed correctly, and so player 2 gets to win. So you're guessing whether your opponent selected a heads or tails. By
So
this
the
method.
preimage is heads and tail.
The preimage is we go by its length. If your preimage, if your preimage is 16 bytes exactly, then you picked heads. If your preimage is something other than 16 bytes in length, then it is tails.
Okay.
So it's the length of the preimage determines whether you picked heads or tails.
Okay. So you hard code it in the code.
I hard coded in the code that if it is 16 bytes, it is heads, and if it is anything else,
Okay.
it's tails.
Can you show us the code?
Yeah, that happens when you are picking your preimage. It is going to be right here. I have it hard coded in the code that you either generate a 16-byte preimage or a 17-byte preimage. And then I just randomly pick one of those if you select the random button. Like if you select heads, it runs this. If you select tails, it runs this. And if you click the random button, it runs this one. And it just does a random choice between them. But yeah, you either get a preimage that is 34 characters is equivalent to 17 bytes, because in hexadecimal every 2 characters is 1 byte. And 32 bytes is equivalent, or 32 characters is equivalent to 16 bytes. So that's heads and tails right there in the way I did it with JavaScript.
When you call the parameters, you have to pass these, right?
Hmm?
When you call the scripts,
In the Bitcoin script?
call up codes. You have a code.
Yeah, that's where we were just looking at that. It's right here. This is the code that says if player 1 selected heads, meaning 16-byte preimage, and player 2 guessed a 16-byte preimage, then player 2 gets to withdraw, because op XOR will return 0. And if we have 0, then we run op else. Whereas if they guessed differently, then player 1 won the game. He selected heads and the other guy guessed tails, so the player 1 should win, and then this guy gets to withdraw the money. So that's where it's coded in the Bitcoin. That's how Bitcoin can tell who won the coin flip. Yeah, so that's it. That's a coin flip in Bitcoin script. Make sense? All right. Now, do you want to?
Is there a way to brute force to figure out what the opponent chose? Or like what the initial person chose?
Not with a 16-byte preimage.
Okay.
That's just too long to. You would have to brute force all of the.
Like, take too long for the amount of auto work time, I guess.
Yeah, it would be like trying to find a preimage, or it would be like trying to do proof of work with 16 times 8 leading zeros.
Yeah.
It's
Or
just-
16 times 8, yeah.
Yeah, you just can't do it.
Good, yeah.
So yeah, this is BitVM before BitVM. This is what it would look like. Robin helped me write this, and like I talk sometimes about how we worked together on projects before BitVM, and out of these ideas, BitVM came to be. This is one of the things we worked together on. Not, I mean, like
So
I just
Robin was Linus.
Robin Linus, yeah, the author of the
So
BitVM
he
paper.
also doing the paper, right? The Liam just mentioned. What the paper?
The ZK Coins paper? Yeah. Robin does a lot of stuff. He wrote the ZK Coins paper. He wrote BitVM white paper. He also wrote something called... what else did he write? Oh, Bitstream. He wrote something called
Are they
Bitstream.
from Blockstream as well?
I don't think he works for Blockstream. Bitstream was an attempt to make it, to do decentralized file storage by him. He came up with a protocol for
But Liam used to work for Blockstream, right?
Liam used to work for Blockstream, yeah.
Robin now.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. But there's another person working on the ZK coins is from Blockstream, right?
Jonas Nick.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I met him once. He took the workshop you took yesterday. Once.
Okay.
Anyway, so what do we want to do now? You guys have seen the coin flip and you've seen the code base for it. What do you want to do? Do you want to build it, or are you satisfied? Or what?
I suggested coin flip. What are you guys thinking?
I think I'm confused what you mean by build it. Like, is this not building it? Like the opcode? Is that what you mean?
Well, actually build it. But it's,
I guess, yeah, like actually set it to the code, yeah. That'd be cool.
You want to step through the code again?
No, I mean like when I said set to the code, I meant like coding it.
Like today, I would do it a little bit differently. Like I would replace this pre-image length stuff with what we do now in BitVM, which is the 0 and the 1 thing. So I would do that instead. And I guess the rest of it would probably be the same. I like using Nostra as an order book, so I'd probably keep that. But yeah, I guess there's not that much I would change. It's really just using a more efficient way of doing
Taproot.
commitments. Oh yeah, doing it in Taproot. One thing about doing it in SegWit, you see a bunch of if-else all over the place because we're doing it in SegWit v0. If else.
Put them into leaves.
And in Taproot, yeah, every conditional logic would be a different tap leaf, and it makes everything smaller. So you can have much smaller scripts in Taproot, and so that would be nice. It would be, but I mean that's not. Even though it looks like a lot, each of these is only 1 byte, so it doesn't come out to all that much. Each opcode is just 1 byte. So the transactions are not that big. And then we'd also, if I was remaking it, I would figure out why it's not working and fix that. But
How is each opcode only 1 byte if there's 150?
well, there's 256 byte
I was doing the math wrong.
things in a byte.
Stupid. I was thinking 64 for some reason. Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many opcodes there are, but it's in the hundreds somewhere.
Yeah. Sure.
So yesterday you guys mentioned the stack limit is 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
which means you can only put 1,000 opcode, like when you're writing the code.
No, the opcodes don't go on the execution stack. They operate on the execution stack.
Okay.
So you can have 1,000 data elements on the
Oh.
execution stack, and then these things interact with them, like comparing the numbers or removing them and replacing them with something else. So these do not go on the execution stack, just like this would, and the other pre-image would. Yeah, that one and this one would both go on there. Anything that's data or numbers goes on the stack, and then
Oh, okay.
the operations do not.
I see.
I think it'd be cool to build. I'd also be interested in the Ulster side because I haven't seen any of that before.
You want to build it? Do you want to build this, or do you want to take my tic-tac-toe demo?
This is Nostra, right?
Huh?
Is it Nostra? You want to do Nostra?
You want to do Nostr?
I mean, I'm interested in seeing it.
I mean, I have another workshop that's designed to teach people how to use Nostr. Do you want me to do that? Ryan, we need your vote.
Like, I think these guys, like, I've already played with Nostra a lot, so I think if they don't know Nostra, I think that that's part of this. It's up to you guys. I mean, like, how would you? Do you guys want to modify this to do something different? I think it'd be interesting to like take this works. We tested this, right?
Well, it didn't work on the one path.
One of the paths
No.
worked.
Yeah, one path
I
worked.
think it'd be interesting to like, well, unless if you want to do Nostra, that's also cool. But like to modify this to add something or remove something, so we could see, like, because like that's the hardest part for me. You can tell me and I can understand how this is working, but then if I sat down and had to write, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Why?
Yeah. Like to do a new, like if I had to, like not coin flip, but it was like do with 6 people.
What about
involved.
rock, paper, scissors?
I mean, no, but like, I'm just asking you guys, would you want to modify this and add some new functionality or no?
I'm fine.
No, I think they want to do Nostr, but that's like a different. That's like
It's a different workshop,
yeah.
but I'm happy to do the Nostr workshop.
What else do you have?
What else do I have?
Anything. What do you want? You can do anything.
Yeah, but what scares me a little bit with doing this
You have
is
a
that
fundraising workshop?
do I have a fundraising
This is
workshop?
you gotta ask.
Um,
Where's what's his name?
Teach people how to find.
I have a fundraising project. I made.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, let me show you my fundraising project. Semaphore.finance.
Crowd sale or something on Bitcoin.
I made. Well, yeah, you can do crowd sales with it, I suppose.
It's a crowdfunding with Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Alright.
Crowdfunding with Bitcoin. So I can view a project that I created previously, and I think I do have one. So let me go to my YouTube channel and find the link to it. Semaphore Bitcoin. So this is an actual fundraiser that I created, hoping that people would contribute to me as a thanks for making it. So you get to upload a picture, like a background thing. You get to specify a goal. My goal was 5 Bitcoins that I wanted to raise. And I did this, I set a timer for 3 months. I was trying to raise that amount in 3 months. I did not make it. I raised 0.02% of my goal.
150,000 sats though, dude.
Yeah,
That's how much. It's quite.
it's like $40 or something.
Okay.
Or, yeah. And then whenever someone pledges, they get to leave a comment with their little amount. And this guy who pledged, he said, "May Lord God bless Super Testnet in perpetuity," which is very nice. So this is crowdfunding software, but the neat thing about it is it uses smart contracts inside of Bitcoin to make it so that if I don't reach the pledge, this guy gets to take his money back.
Oh.
Yeah, which is kind of
That's
neat.
pretty cool.
It's like Kickstarter, but with a clawback clause.
Well, yes.
Well, I guess no.
Kickstarter usually does
you
have
get
it.
back, you get it back if you don't. They don't hit their target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same. Okay. Cool.
I just wanted to make Kickstarter for Bitcoin because Geyser Fund is the premier Bitcoin contributing thing, and they don't have that. Like if you just contribute to them, and even if they don't raise their goal, they still keep all the money. I was just like, but Kickstarter, you get it back. So I made it using Bitcoin smart contracts to do that.
So you
It's
get
a-
to keep the $40.
This guy, when you click pledge, you get
it's
two
optional.
options. Well, there's only one option after a fundraiser ends. Let me do this. I'm gonna make a new fundraiser here.
Oh,
Create
so it's
project.
a platform.
What'd you say?
It's a platform. Anyone can create a project.
Anyone can create a project, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Like with the coin flip, I just store it all on Nostr. Nostr Relays hosts the data for me. Enter a project description.
You use open source?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
And you can say how much you want to raise. Let's say, I don't know, 3 Bitcoins. We don't know where we want our Bitcoins to go. I will send them to this faucet. This Bitcoin address looks good. Copy it. Oops.
What?
Paste. You can add a Lightning address if you want people to be able to contribute to you on Lightning.
Wow.
So I will do that. I will do supertestnet@stacker.news. And then you can pick when you want it to end. So let's have it end in a few days. So we click submit.
So this is mainnet? What?
Yeah, this is on mainnet.
So the address you pick is random address.
Yeah, but it'll convert it automatically to a mainnet Bitcoin address.
But it's not your address, right? It's random.
Correct.
You just do a demo.
I'm just doing it for a demo. Apparently, selecting a picture is mandatory. So let's go find a picture to use. That one looks good.
Wow, that's a cool project.
Your end date must be at least 1 week in the future. Please try again. Okay. Can do. There's a week. You forgot to select file that uploads the picture. Okay. Go back to here. Select the picture. Submit. And now it is uploading all of this data to Nostr so that people can contribute to it. Oh, my computer's running low on power.
To Nostr.
Nostr. Yeah.
Why? Why to Nostr?
Because then I don't have to host a server. Nostr relays are like free servers. You just
It's
upload-
all the data.
Yeah, it breaks all the data into chunks that fit within the 244 characters or whatever that Nostr permits, that Nostr relays permit. And then, since they have rate limits of only submitting a certain amount of data per every 5 seconds or something, I have a little progress bar while it's submitting these chunks of data, and then I don't have to run a server. I just store everything for on free relays around the internet.
When you
It's
query
great.
the data, there's like open RPCs for Nostr relays or like Nostr data.
All Nostr relays are. They're a SQLite database
Okay.
with a WebSocket interface. So someone else just hosting a SQLite database for you, and you're doing all the SQL commands using WebSockets to talk to them. So they're all there's just a bunch of them. They're super easy to run because you literally just install a database and click like make it available, and then people can communicate with you. So that should be done. It gives you a little backup file that has your private key in it, and then you click here, and you can view your project and share the link with people. So here's our test project. When someone clicks pledge, so you share this link on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media. When people click pledge, they get two options. Do you want to make an irreversible pledge? If they do that, they send it directly to your Bitcoin address or to your Lightning address. Or if they do the reversible pledge, then it uses the smart contract where they get their money back. So the guy who contributed to me, that $40 guy, he happened to click irreversible, so he did not get his money back.
Wow.
But you can. So if I do irreversible, you get either the option of sending through Lightning or sending on the base layer. And so you can do that. Or you can click here. And let's say we wanted to do 4,000 sats.
That's hard coded.
The amount you entered is more than 1 million sats.
Is it like a Bitcoin maybe? Or like a...
I don't know. It shouldn't be doing that. That looks like a bug to me. Pledge, irreversible, Lightning. Let's try 300. Yeah, it says amount of sats, so there must be a bug that's comparing that with the wrong number. But there, now it worked that time. So we could send me 300 sats, and you would get to make a little comment, and it would be great. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
That's
do
pretty
it.
cool.
Where is my phone?
Is this one?
Yeah.
But it sends to, I don't know who.
Me.
Not you.
Super Testnet at sacker.news.
Oh, that's right. It sends to address.
So I will go to my Lightning wallet.
Which
Lightning.
Which Lightning wallet are you using?
I'm testing Mutiny wallet, but I don't recommend it. I don't really like it. I wish I was using Electrum. Electrum's a really good one.
Oh.
But this is what I'm using, so I will scan that. And it is not seeing it. There, I found it. Send. And it failed. The payment failed.
Why?
Lightning payments don't always succeed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about 15% of the time in my experience they fail. So I will go and pay it using my own Stacker News account. So let me just copy this invoice. Withdraw from Stacker News to myself. And there it detected it, and now we can enter a comment.
Oh, that's quick.
Here is a comment. And the comment is just an Oster post. So I'm just adding something to a SQL database there. And it gets recorded right there as a pledge. So same thing works with the Bitcoin payment. It does the same thing.
That's pretty cool, man.
Isn't that neat? That's fundraising. So you asked how to do fundraisers. I recommend using Noster. So, yeah.
So under the hood, how do you do this? Just
You want to see the smart contract for this? Alright, sweet. Once again, it is all just an indexed.html file, as always with all my projects.
JavaScript.
What'd you say?
Wow.
Honestly, 1,000 lines, yeah. If it's like 1,000 lines, it's not that big a deal. But never mind.
Wow.
3,000.
It's in the thousands.
3,000 lines of code. Okay, but let me see.
Looks like a lot of it maybe comments.
There's a lot of stuff that's commented out because I decided not to do it. Yeah, so this is a multi-sig. So I have when you're sending money using using the smart contract, then it creates a multi-sig where the person running the fundraiser has a key and the contributor to the fundraiser has a key in this multi-sig. Why does it do that?
Oh, you need Taproot.
Well, there should be
So you
a
hard,
clawback.
are you hard coded?
Oh, I remember how it works.
Contribute key?
Huh?
Where's the contribute?
Well, it just generates a key from the person who's contributing. It automatically generates a key for them in the background.
So it's hard coded.
It's not hard coded. It is a variable. It's a different key for every person because their own browser generates it. Here, I will show you that. Get a random private key. So I use the NobleSec P256K1 library. It has a utility in it called random private key. I run that and then I turn it into hex using my bytes to hex function. And yeah, that's their secret key. So this runs as soon as the page loads, and every user gets a different private key.
Okay.
So that private key is one of the keys in this multi-sig, the one that they generated themselves. And the other private key belongs to whoever ran the fundraiser. So in this case, that's me because I made this fundraiser. The fundraiser called Test is made by me. If you made the fundraiser, it would be your private key.
So your private key is hard coded.
No, it's not hard coded.
Your private key.
I just showed you. It's not hard coded.
That's contributor's private key, right?
It's
What?
both. They both do that.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
Oh.
The fundraiser, when he creates the private, I think I see what you mean.
I mean,
Do you see this where it says fundraiser equals SPRJ, all this stuff?
yeah.
There's a public key in here, and the public key generated that's in this thing was generated in the background when I clicked create fundraiser.
So, okay.
Yeah, so the fundraiser has their own private key, and in the backup file it generated, the private key to that is in that backup file.
Okay, so the create one, you have to run this locally, right? So the private key obviously belongs to you. You don't want to review it.
It belongs to whoever created the fundraiser, and they have a copy of the private key in their backup file, and the public key is in the URL.
I gotcha.
So it uses the public key, which it gets from the URL, plus the private key of whoever's contributing to the fundraiser, to create a multi-sig.
Okay.
With me so far?
Yeah, gotcha.
And when they send money to this multi-sig, they sign a transaction that lets the contributor take the money, take it all, if and only if they reach their goal. So the transaction, when you create a transaction, you specify the amount that's supposed to go into the destination address. So it just says only if 3 BTC total, only if 3
You
BTC
can
total goes
take
into the
it.
destination address can you take this money.
Okay.
And now if the crowdfunder person has enough people who do that, who signed that transaction, then he can do it. He's got enough money to do it. But there's a second script path in here
Where how many blocks? Right?
where if the number of blocks go by where we reach the fundraiser end and the money is still in that multi-sig, then the person who put it in there can unilaterally take it back.
But they may forgot their private key.
Um,
After 7 days, right? Who will open this page?
Well, if you pledge on the base layer, it gives you a backup file as well, so you have your private key there.
Okay.
Why don't I show you that? Or no, I can't show you. I can't because it's on mainnet, and I don't want to do it on mainnet.
Okay.
But yeah, it gives them a backup file too. So it says, you know, if the date comes and they haven't raised their goal, come to this page and to load the backup file. Actually, I can show you that part.
Gotcha. Interesting.
So if it says view project you created or contributed to, it just asks you to upload your backup file right here. And when you do that, then it says, oh, he either took the money or he didn't. If he took the money, then he reached his goal, because that's the smart contract said. That's the smart contract you signed. And if he didn't reach his goal, then it says the money's still in your address and the time lock has been reached now, so you can take it back.
Okay. So the backup file is just private key, right?
I think it's a private key and maybe the URL that you need. I forget what's actually in the backup file.
Okay.
But I think I have a copy. Let me just create a new project. Test project.
It's actually quite powerful. The Bitcoin now. You can do this.
Yeah, Bitcoin can do most things. Bitcoin can do. It's just you have to learn how to do it, and most people aren't willing to do that because they want to work on.
It's not hard, right? Just
It's a
some opcodes. That's it.
I thought I could select one week in the future.
You can write a lot of things in the HTML.
Oh, right.
You can write a lot of things in the hash lock
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah, hash time lock contracts are
Yeah,
very
it's
powerful. It's
powerful,
essentially what
yeah.
this is, except it's multi-sig instead of single sig. Yeah, I do lots of stuff that people think Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts, but I make them all the time.
Yes.
And so that's most of what I do in Bitcoin.
So you can make it better this one, so people let people to use.
Hmm?
You make it as a platform, let people to use, and
I did. I made it a platform. People can use it.
maybe just take 1% or 5% fee or something.
I chose to take 0.
I know you should monetize this, right?
No need. I don't need. I don't. Why would they Why take money from people when they can just do it for free?
You spend your time and effort to do this, right?
Yeah, but the reward of
But you-
having made something cool isn't
but you should-
reward enough.
But you should make it better, I think. What other features do you think you can add?
Milestones would be one where, like, if you reach this goal, then you give someone you promise people some sort of reward. And if you reach this goal, you promise them some other reward.
Wow.
Recurring
cool, man.
payments would be cool. There's a way to do recurring payments with Bitcoin, but this doesn't support it. So if you could make it so that like they contribute a Bitcoin per month instead of doing a one-time payment, that would be really neat.
They would need to like sign each time then, or no?
Yeah, that's what I thought of. You'd put like 3 Bitcoin. Let's say you want to do 1 Bitcoin a month for 3 months. You put 3 Bitcoins in an address,
Okay, yeah.
sign 3 time-locked transactions, giving them the money in stages, and then if you ever want to cancel your subscription, there's another spend path that lets you take the money out, but unilaterally.
Sure.
And so then you have subscription payments on Bitcoin.
Okay, another thing about crowdfunding, like the people want to get something. Like in Ethereum, you give them ETH. Typically, those founders will get some shit coins, ERC20. Right? Otherwise, you just like donate.
So here's the backup file. It has the private key, and it has the thing in the URL that identifies that fundraiser. And I think that's it. And there's nothing else in the file. That's all you really need. It's just what fundraiser you created or contributed to, and what your private key is. So yeah, it's pretty simple protocol, pretty simple thing. You said people want something, so like on Ethereum you give them tokens. I think that's a scam. I think they're just trying to scam people, so I'm not willing to do that. But you could give them a real world product, like Kickstarter actually gives you real world things if you contribute. Like if you get the first 50 copies of the game or something like that.
Based on promise, right?
Yeah.
The project may just run, scam, whatever.
It's true, yeah. There's you either have to trust them not to scam you by just taking your money and leaving. Of course, if they don't raise the fundraiser, you at least get it back, so that's nice. But on Ethereum, they're just scamming you by giving you scam tokens. We'll give you a token if you give us your money. and then the token goes to 0. And that's that.
But that's the ICO part, right? So is it possible to do this?
Yeah.
Give people tokens?
Sure.
How?
I'm not telling you
Why not?
because I think it's a scam.
Why it's a scam? It's
Because-
it's offering. You're
There's
just
no-
doing a platform, right?
There's no need for any money other than Bitcoin. So what are you creating new money for? The only reason is that someone will give you Bitcoin and then you can give them something that's worthless.
I don't.
I think there's
It's
the
debatable.
One use could be if you have your own proof of stake protocol and you want to reward users. But does that make sense?
Well, I'm not sure. Tell me more about rewarding then.
Oh, like when you stake and like you validate, like let's say you have some kind of proof of stake mechanism on your chain, then you need to be able to mint new tokens to reward stakers, right?
Why can't you just give them Bitcoin?
Because you can't mint Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the point of Bitcoin is that it's really hard to produce. So it's like if you create like monopoly money that you can just produce and then give to people, that feels like you're scamming them. You're taking their real money and you're giving them these fake currency that you can just print on your own.
Well, it's doable, I think.
It is absolutely doable, but it's a scam. So don't do
Can
it.
you use ruins or ordinals?
Yeah.
Could be an NFT, right? Like a membership thing, crowdfunding you and have a anti-alpha labs membership.
You don't need to do memberships with NFTs though. You could just like create a Discord channel that's invite only, and then invite them if they contributed to your fundraiser.
Yeah, that's
then you
doable
don't-
as well.
Yeah,
It's a
and then you don't have the
So you have all
The-
these offerings there.
weird incentive of printing something on a blockchain and then hoping people gamble on it. Like, that's not good.
Or some sort of a receipt, which may worth something in the future to redeem something if your project is successful.
Well, in both Lightning and in Bitcoin, we have receipts. In Bitcoin, your receipt is your transaction ID. That demonstrates that you actually paid them, and here's the proof on the blockchain. And in Lightning, we have these things called proofs of payment. And so I would use those. And I would just say, you can enter my Discord
I
channel.
think
or
we have
whatever
ordinals.
if you
Wow,
provide your
that's
proof of
pretty
receipt.
powerful. So somebody crowdfund you and you get some ordinals.
It's a pretty powerful scam.
Why do you think it's a scam?
I told you, because you're printing something for nothing and then giving it out for money.
Well,
That's
you're
your-
saying you're gonna do a project. Maybe your project is
Yeah, that's not a scam. If you're doing an actual project, like making, I don't know, a car or something.
like you, right? You're doing say, okay, I'm doing lots of educational content.
Yeah.
If you
I can't-
pledge to me,
I
pledge
can't-
to me, I can give you a club membership
Yeah.
as a NFT or whatever.
Or just
If
an
you show me
invitation
this,
to a thing.
I will invite you to Discord Discord channel or something.
Yeah, but if you just show me that you paid, then I will invite you to the Discord channel.
That's not interesting.
But
If they have a
it's better than-
membership on
yeah.
the blockchain, that's all cool.
It's a scam.
What?
You don't- because you don't need a blockchain for it. It's like, now I'm going to give you something that actually costs money to transfer to someone instead of just using a regular database for that information. I could put your name in a spreadsheet, and then I'm not scamming you and making you use a blockchain to interact with it.
That's called digital assets, right?
It's
Digital
scam. I call it scams.
Yeah.
Okay.
The world needs one money, and only one money.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So you don't like Ethereum.
No.
Interesting.
But I do like demonstrating that Bitcoin can do all the things that people do on Ethereum.
It is.
Okay.
So I do lotteries, I do coin flip games, I do.
I don't think lottery is good because it's too slow, right? 10 minutes. Who's gonna wait?
Yeah, I want to do the lottery in an off-chain fashion too,
Yeah.
but I haven't finished it yet.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
But people might wait if it was like there's a registration period of a week to be in the lottery, then I think people would be fine with waiting. It just means there's more people who can be in it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because if you say after we've gotten everyone, then there's a 10-minute period. Like, no one's going to care about an extra 10 minutes after a week of waiting. That's fine. So, I think you can do that, but it's hard. It's hard. The lotteries are harder in Bitcoin than they are in Ethereum. But yeah. You can do it. I've done it. Thanks. Thank you all.
Thank you.
What else do you have?
What else do I have?
Interesting projects.
I mean,
This one is really interesting.
this is my website, Super